Hello, lovely listeners. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Pop Culture Junkie Podcast. My name is Shauna, and I am joined by my fellow junkie, whose name is...
Olivia.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm going to pretend like I didn't just see you a couple hours ago. Oh my God, how are you?
I am doing well. I am back in Arizona and
I
very
missed you.
sweaty.
It is
Very
sweaty.
sweaty.
You and I are both just mentally exhausted right now, so we're both just, everything's great. It's great.
We're doing
what do you
amazing.
mean? I'm doing great.
I'm doing
great. Well, at least we have pop culture. If all else fails in this world and it all goes to shit, we have shows and movies to watch. And Olivia came to my pool party recently, and it was Summerween themed. So it was like I put up all my Halloween decorations.
Which I interpreted as wear a costume. No one else did. You Elle Woodsed me. You said it was a costume party, and then it wasn't a costume party. In
the Facebook event description, which I know you didn't look at, it says to wear spooky swimwear.
Okay. No, you Elle Woodsed me 100%. I showed up dressed as beer because I have like a beer hat and then a yellow swimsuit, and then I looked stupid because everyone was in black and orange swimsuits, and I was like, well, fine, I'm just gonna swim around the pool with my beer hat on, and that's exactly what I did.
Because I like you and I like beer, so when you put those together,
it's even better.
And I like hats.
I kept being like, it's ironic because I can't drink beer.
That is true.
But I can be it.
I can be beer.
I can be beer, but I can't have it inside me.
Anyway, what have you been watching, reading, listening to, obsessed with recently, Olivia?
So I'm in my documentary kick lately, and I have two that I would recommend.
Okay.
The first one is, I think it's called The Black Widower. And it's about this guy who's had 6 wives.
Donald Trump?
Maybe it's about him. Who's had 6 wives who have all died. And he's collected life insurance policies on all of them. It's about the cases that he got charged with and the appeals and all that stuff. So that was pretty interesting.
What
docu-series.
Platform is that on?
I saw it on HBO.
Okay, so probably Max.
But I think it's, I also think it's on Discovery Plus. So if you have that, you can listen to it.
I can't keep up with all the fucking platforms that we have. Like, I think we might have Discovery Plus. I don't know. I'll try.
Max owns it. So if you have Max, you have Discovery Plus now. But
oh, really? Oh, well then I do have Discovery Plus.
Yeah, there you go. So you can, or if you have cable, you can always
cable.
Ugh, hate that thing. So you can always watch that. Now the second one is Dirty Pop, the boy band scam, and it's a documentary about Lou Pearlman.
I was just about to say it's either L.A. Reid or Lou Pearlman.
Right. Okay. Good. So, because my first question was going to be, do you know who Lou Pearlman is?
Oh, 100%.
And so Lou Pearlman is most widely known for having the longest running Ponzi scheme in American history.
Really? The longest running? Jesus. I thought I was going to get that title.
Damn it. I'm coming for you, Lou. As well as creating the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Yeah.
And then also a little known band known as Dream. Which Britney Spears was supposed to be a part of, but she thankfully left.
I had that CD.
Went solo, but I think it's 3 parts. It's really, really good. Now, my gripe with most of these Lou Pearlman documentaries is they do not go into the abuse that was happening or enough. They don't really, they kind of are like, okay, well, we can prove the financial abuse and prove that he's a bad guy, but no one really wants to like touch the other side of it.
Yeah.
And so that's really kind of missing of how he abused these people. People from LFO have publicly came out and said it and stuff like that. So I feel
because it's like allegations or whatever.
Yeah. Because you can't prove it. And so that was my gripe with it. I was really hoping that after an open secret, like they would, you know, kind of show that part had been happening in the music industry as well, even to children. But it got kind of swept under the rug. So that was my biggest thing that I didn't like after that.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of these documentaries too, where it's kind of like the elephant in the room where you're like, okay, are you going to talk about the like sexual abuse? Is this going to come up? And they're always like kind of skirt by it. But
yeah, and in Boy Band Con, Lance Bass produced it, and they brought Aaron Carter on when he was kind of in the midst of his drug addiction, like hoping he would kind of say it. And then he like said he would, and then he did a 180 and was like, oh, I don't have a bad thing to say about Lou at all. What are you talking about? Yeah, and it just became this like
trauma for
really kind of dirty, like switch up on Aaron Carter from NSYNC.
Yeah. Well, interesting. Maybe I'll give that a whirl. Is that on Max too?
No, it's on Netflix.
That one I do have.
Like, which one on the list? I'm sure you can find it somewhere too, eventually.
Nice. Let's see. I've been watching all of my usual stuff. So House of the Dragon. At this point, we only have one episode left as of this recording. I know. It goes by so fast. And I guess the biggest thing I watched this week was Deadpool and Wolverine finally came out. I was so excited going into this movie. I literally was sitting in the movie theater like giddy like a schoolgirl. And it was incredible. I fucking loved this movie.
Spoiler-free review.
Yes, I won't do any spoilers because there are a ton of cameos in this movie that I literally screamed out loud for. Just the minute somebody would pop up, I'd be like, ah! Just smiling the entire time. It's so good, and it's raunchy, but it has heart to it, and it has a good story. I mean, Hugh Jackman is so ridiculously ripped. It's insane. How old is this man? 55 years old. And he... Wow. My goodness. I guess, tiny spoiler, he's shirtless in one of the scenes.
That's my goodness.
I can't see it now. And it's good. But yeah, very, very good movie. Laugh out loud, funny. I think it'll fit well into the MCU. The MCU's first R-rated movie. I mean, Logan was R-rated, but that wasn't in the MCU. Even though they do, you know, allude to it in this movie because that was the last time we saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So, yeah, gonna absolutely pop Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I'll see it as well.
Yeah, I'll go see it again. I'll go with you to see it. It was so good.
I figured. I was going to force you.
Yes, twist my arm. I guess.
Like, it's actually a 7:15 showing later. You want to go?
Let's wrap this shit up so we could go see Deadpool Wolverine. We could use some giggles. Let's go do it. Another thing that, gosh, if Nicole was here, I feel like she would be like, really, Shauna? That I started watching that will kind of go into our topic for this week. So my friends Marissa and Jessica talked to me over the weekend about this show that they're both binging. It comes out every single day, and it's called Love Island, and it is on Peacock. And I didn't even have Peacock. Like, I had to use Jessica's login for this. Thanks, girl. And I usually don't like trashy dating reality shows. I watched Rock of Love and Flavor of Love on VH1 back in the day just because they were so fucking absurd and disgusting. But I don't like The Bachelor. I don't like any of that shit. And I am hooked on this show. You could almost say I'm hate watching it. Because
one could say.
One could say I'm hate watching this show. Because I feel stupid at the end of every episode. I'm like, what am I doing to myself? This is not contributing to my personal or financial growth or emotional growth in the slightest. But the concept of the show is like, these really fucking hot people, just like dummy attractive men and women, are all put in an island in Fiji, and they all have to couple up with each other. It's very heteronormative, and you have to like choose a person and sleep with them, and then you're in a couple. Not like sleep with them sexually, but like you have to sleep in a bed with them.
Well, it's like implied, yeah.
Yeah, and then you get to know them and date them, but then like a couple episodes, a new bombshell will enter the villa. And like the producers will just drop in the hottest person you've ever seen in your entire life. And then everybody just fights over them. Yeah. And then like couples will break up and everyone's crying and I thought we were in love. It's been a week. And it's insane.
but a week in Fiji feels pretty magical. I don't know.
Especially when everybody has rock hard abs and breast implants. Like,
yeah. I'm a Vanderpump Rules person, so I love Ariana, and I love that she has made the U.S. version of Love Island so popular because it's always really struggled here. Like people would always say, "Don't watch the American one, watch the UK one."
Yeah.
But I love that she is just winning. And oh my God, she looks amazing in like every outfit I see of her.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't watch Vanderpump Rules, and I only know about Scandival because of you.
Yep.
And so I wouldn't have known that that's who this woman was until my friends told me. All I knew was just this ridiculously good-looking woman is hosting this show. And everybody's in the tiniest outfits possible, but they're all looking like a little outdated. It's all giving like 2008 Charlotte Russe, we're going to the club. Like
it feels like you're watching Tila Tequila, A Shot at Love.
Yes, that is what all of their outfits look like. It looks like what I would have worn if I was like, I really want to look good and I'm 23, which is, I guess, everybody on this show. So we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to dive into more of this concept of hate watching right after the break. So the concept of hate watching is something, I mean, there's hate listening, hate reading. I think hate reading would take a lot more time out of your schedule, though. Something that you know is bad or something that is universally kind of known to be low quality, but you watch it anyway, or you listen to it anyway. JoJo Siwa's music videos. I've been like
JoJo Siwa, anything.
Oh my God, I have to watch her new music video in Mexico. We were like, we have to put this on because we know it's going to be so bad that we have to watch it. We have to witness it. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk about hate watching. We'll just call it that, even though there's, hate listening to music too. And why people do it, and if you hate watch anything. I got the idea for this episode because there's a documentary about Nickelback. It's something along the lines of the band that you love to hate or hate to love.
Yeah.
So Nickelback is kind of widely regarded as one of the most hated bands of all time, for better or worse. And same along with like Creed, these kind of dad rock bands. But lately they've been getting kind of a resurgence, I've noticed, through memes and commercials. Like Nickelback had a famous commercial a couple years back where they kind of poke fun at themselves. Same with the documentary. They're kind of like, they realize people hate them and dog on them a lot. And is Nickelback really that bad even? I mean, I don't like their music, but if they come on in a bar, then I'm gonna fucking sing Nickelback because everybody knows the words and we're all gonna sing it. You know what I mean? Same with Creed. Like you and I sing Creed at karaoke because it's hilarious and we know the words.
See, I do not put Creed and Nickelback in the same category.
Really?
But I really do dislike Nickelback. But I also think that it's kind of like an overexposure thing.
Yeah.
Where Nickelback was always so commercially safe.
Yeah.
That like they felt like they could really do that.
Yeah, I see that.
And so I think a lot of it comes into overexposure, unfortunately, that whenever, you're around too much or people feel like they have too much access to you, like there's this weird like tipping point. Like Zendaya, for example, everyone's like, oh my God, I love her. But it's because you don't like have enough access to her. But then you like look at like a Taylor Swift who you have so much access and people like love to hate her.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things. So I think a lot of it has to do with exposure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I see that with like the backlash that Jennifer Lawrence and Anne Hathaway got a couple years ago, when these are both two beautiful, funny, talented actresses, but all of a sudden it was kind of cool to hate them. And I think they've kind of gotten over that now because they both kind of went out of the limelight for a couple years. Yeah. But it just sucks, like, and we see it a lot with women. I mean, I know we talked about male bands, but like, when it comes to actresses, I think it's a lot of women. We love you. Okay, well, now we're sick of you. Go and like Taylor Swift. Go away a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think like the Kardashians, the fact that they're still so famous, but I think I've only met one person in my life who is legitimately like, no, I love the Kardashians. I love watching that stuff. Everyone else is like, no, fuck that. Like, then why are they so famous if we all collectively dislike them?
So I think that like early seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashian were like a perfect hate watch for me at the time, where like it was still like a semi-good reality TV show, like when it was on E! And these people are crazy, and it's a giant family. So there's just like so many dynamics. And I think like those ones were good. But to be honest, and I'm put my tinfoil hat on, I don't think anyone is actually watching the Hulu show at all.
I don't know a single person who's watching that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone actually is, but I think Hulu is like lying and making it like number 1 or number 2, so people actually think that them doing the show was a good idea.
I agree. That's interesting. And because the Kardashians are such just a brand in themselves, they're going to bring you money. I don't know. They're going to talk about Hulu on their social media channels with 1 billion fucking followers. It's all money. It's all follow the money. I like to brag because I'm not like other girls. I've never seen an episode of Keeping Up the Kardashians. I guess it could be very entertaining. I've never seen it. I don't know. Oh my
gosh. The first season is so interesting. That might actually be an interesting episode to do.
Oh my
God. To go back and watch like the first episode of the first season.
Shauna and Olivia watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, nobody has those same faces. Not a single one of them. And not a single one of them. Rob, maybe, but it's a little more round now.
That was a nice way to put that. That was good.
Yes. I was trying to be sensitive there.
That was very good.
But Rob Kardashian actually used to be really like cute, and he was dating Adrienne Bailon.
Oh, that's right.
A cheetah girl.
Cheetah girl, cheetah sister.
And then 3LW. I always want to call them Three Little Women, even though
that's
it's
what
just
3LW stands for.
It is, but
you're calling them like their full government name, Three Little Women.
Miss Three Little Women, come over here.
I love that new song by those 3 little women.
Those 3 little women over there. So crazy.
Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to watch the Kardashians. At least the first episode. I can't commit to more than that.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I can.
Yes. I love that.
So I have a few reasons why people might hate watch something. So why spend your time consuming media that you dislike? Entertainment value. Sometimes the content itself is just so outrageous or cringeworthy or just poorly done that it's just funny. It reminds me of like just cringe videos that you see on like TikTok or Instagram or something. There it's just like super socially awkward people, and you watch them because it makes you feel yucky inside and you love it. Social interaction. So there's communities, your friends are watching it, you want to talk to your friends about it. I mean, I guess that's kind of me with Love Island. I wouldn't say that I hate this show, it just makes me feel stupid.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes about like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Like everyone's watching it and everyone's talking about it, so like I guess I'll go to that like watch party. Yeah. And like, because I want the charcuterie and I want the wine and the gossip. Because that show is literally just like half ads and it's 2 hours. So like, it's kind of like a book club. So people like create that community around it.
That is the one thing that I wish that like I could get into The Bachelor, because like my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law love it. Yeah, and they have like a little group chat, and then all these girls I see are like Bachelorette viewing party, and they all have their like rosé and cheese, and I'm like, yeah. I want to be eating rosé and cheese in my PJs, but I don't want to have to watch this terrible television show.
We can do it for a book club, but you have to demonstrate that you can read fast enough.
I read Fourth Wing in like a week.
You did, but that was like one. So
I know.
Well, I think if you can prove you can read 3 books fast, we'll let you join.
To be fair, I might have a lot of spare time coming up, so.
This is very true. Oh, I should have given you a book when you were here earlier.
And I am in a depressive episode, so I need a good book.
Not to brag, but I am going to spend all day and all night in bed, and a book.
Not to brag, but shit is going really poorly for me.
Amen, sister. Amen.
We need a good book.
We need a good cleansing, honestly.
Literally. Okay, number 3. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the same thing. Cultural phenomenon. It's just shows or personalities gain attention for being controversial or polarizing, and you just have to see what happens next. Number 4, emotional release. Watching something you dislike can help you release your frustration with the world. I could never do that. Like, I even skip the debates because I don't want to see he who shall not be named speak. It makes me so anxious. I can't deal with his toys.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, I agree, but it depends. Like, so I would put Vanderpump Rules in that category for me, because it, like, with Scandival, for example, like, it was like so triggering to me in a way that I feel like it helped me to like work through maybe some like unhealed trauma from someone like cheating on me in the past, where I'm like, what? Oh, like, I think a lot of those things, like what you don't like is often like a mirror. Not saying that like Donald Trump is a mirror to you.
Oh God, I fucking hope not.
But
no, I feel you though. Like if somebody as beautiful as Ariana, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
If somebody as fucking beautiful as Ariana could get cheated on, then you're like, oh, now I understand why he did this to me. Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes I like those, or like you just like have something that you can like put your anger into, like at a character or whatever. Speaking of today, so I have been having a rough week, you guys. And in the middle of the day, all of a sudden, this fire alarm goes off, and I know that it's not a fire.
I just watched your Snapchat about this. I love it. I love it.
I know that it's not a fire, and I know that they did not have a planned fire alarm test today. So I just went out on my balcony, because this is not the first time it has happened. And I was just like having such a bad day, and it took them like 5 minutes to get the thing turned off. And I was literally about to go downstairs and scream at these people because I was so upset. I was like, how could you do this? Like, I have a job to do. And then I was like, first of all, I'm not going to take out my bad day on someone else. So I did not go down there and yell at them.
I'm proud of you.
Sometimes shows can have that feeling without ever yelling at that person. And so sometimes I like shows like that.
I could totally understand that. And I try really hard not to let my bad days come out on other people. I remember one time I did it to a student loan representative on the phone, and then I hung up. And since then I was like, that wasn't her fault. Why did I scream at her? Like, that's not her fault.
Yeah. I used to work in customer support. I still kind of do. And so every time I talk to a customer support person, I'm like, God, that's you. Don't be mean to anyone. That's you, you know.
Exactly. And to this day, I'm always like, Okay, I know this isn't you, Susan. Like, okay, I'm just gonna.
That's like in every corporate training you ever go to. It's like, just know if someone's mean to you, it really isn't about you at all. And and it came very true. But I think hate watching really is that, or like just like such a disdain for something, which goes into the next reason a lot of people hate watch would be contrarianism. So many people like it. It's going against the grain. Like, oh, well, I'm too cool for that, you know?
Yeah. Everyone else loves Game of Thrones. I guess I'll watch it, but I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of children are guilty of that because they want to be different or things like that. But then like they're watching from the sidelines. But I did that for a really long time with Housewives as well. I still have a love to hate kind of relationship with Housewives.
Just because it is kind of mind numbing. I mean, that's all reality shows is like, it's mind numbing, but sometimes you need that. You need those shows where you don't have to like, I don't know. I can put it on in the background while I scroll on my phone. And if I'm not going to miss Aegon and Aegon and Aegon and you know, like I need something a little dumb to put on sometimes.
It's a big fun little phone show for sure. But on that kind of note, I have a theory that no reality TV should go on past the third season because then people know the formula too much and it makes it less authentic and real. Like the first 3 seasons of The Bachelor, great. The first 3 seasons of Love Island, probably like amazing, you know?
Oh my God, the first 3 seasons of like America's Next Top Model too. Oh my God,
so good.
So good. You know, and that's with a lot of shows. A show that I used to really like, but then by the end, I found myself hate watching it, was The Flash.
Yeah.
And it's because it went on for so many seasons that those first 3 seasons of that show, I'll say, were amazing. Like, my husband and I loved all of that. And this goes with a lot of those, like, CW superhero shows. We really liked the first couple of seasons of Arrow and Supergirl. And then eventually you kind of fall off and stop watching them. Or eventually we would find ourselves watching them, but the whole time being like, this is so fucking bad. This is so dumb. Oh my God, this is so dumb. Or we'd be like, there's another hallway chat. Oh, Barry's in his feelings again. Or like, oh, Oliver can't tell a secret again. And then we're like, if we're really just watching this just so we can dog on it every week, like, maybe we should find other shows to watch. Because at this point, we're just hate watching this.
Let's just make our brains a little bit happier, you know, with something we do enjoy.
Especially because you see that quality go downhill. Like the first season of Riverdale, I loved the first season of Riverdale. And then after that, it got so dumb.
Riverdale is known as probably the most universal hate watch show.
Yeah.
That and Just Like That. Where like the top 2, like they were like switching back and forth in every article I looked at, like what were the top 10 hate watching shows.
Oh, that's interesting. And I love it Just Like That. I will admit, season 1, I hate watched it. Season 2, I unabashedly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You won't accept that I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it.
I won't change your mind. The next one is curiosity.
Yeah, okay.
Curiosity about why others like or dislike something can drive people to watch content they wouldn't normally enjoy. They might want to understand different perspectives or motivation. And then critical analysis. For critics or for those in media analysis like us, we're in media analysis. We don't just host a podcast.
Obviously.
Can provide material for... we're so intelligent. Can provide material for dissecting storytelling techniques, flaws, plot holes, cultural impacts. Curiosity, I think of with you, with your 600-pound life.
Oh my God, I love that show so much. I am so sorry if that's problematic. I love that show unabashedly. And maybe I do kind of hate watch it because when I watch it the whole time.
You hate watch the crap out of that show.
I feel so like bad for these people. But then I'm like, am I watching this to feel better about myself? Maybe.
Probably.
Like, that's bad.
It's version of hate watching. That's what I mean.
Like it's definitely curiosity.
It's so psychological. Like, I think it's a really interesting
I've never
thing,
thought
honestly.
about that with that show, because that's absolutely, I don't put it on because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. I put it on because I'm like, well, it says in the description that Robert here is 750 pounds and is inside of his bed for life. So, and like Hoarders, that kind of stuff, and My Strange Addiction.
I do love those, all of those. Honestly, anything on the TLC network. Also,
so
my mom watches or used to. She doesn't anymore. The Duggars, and I would hate watch the crap out of that show with her. And it was just so funny. I used to hate watch the
Duggars for sure.
Yeah. There's just so many. Okay, Johnny Kate plus 8. Like it's something about like it's bad, but like you just cannot look away.
Yeah. And I think the Duggars is good to watch if you have a history of religious trauma, because you can watch it and you're just like, oh my God.
Maybe or maybe not. It might trigger you.
Yeah, it's either. I guess it depends on how far removed you are from your religious trauma. Is it going to make you spiral, or is it going to make you cathartically scream at the television and thank God that you got out?
Like the higher being. Another one that you guys have already heard me talk about extensively throughout this podcast that I absolutely hate watched was The Idol.
Oh my God, you watched that whole season, didn't you?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
I couldn't. God bless you. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I heard a song that they make for it, and I'm like, that song is good. Like,
it's
The
kind of a bop.
Makes good songs, but he does not make good TV.
He's not a good actor. He needs to stick with what he knows.
The other honorary mentions, which I always think of the show as kind of like coining this term, Emily in Paris.
Oh, see, I didn't watch that, but I heard enough about it to understand that like it's about a rich, privileged white woman who goes to Paris, and that's about it. Huh?
Oh my God, that was the show we were trying to remember the other day that you hadn't watched, that I was astonished you hadn't watched.
I couldn't, I don't know, it looked too cringy and weird from the previews.
That's why it's a hate watch, babe.
And that's why it's on this episode.
Yeah, that's why it's a hate watch. Oh, we gotta do it. You have to watch it. It's kind of like Bridgerton, where it's not gonna be good, but it's gonna be great.
So good. I love
But that's what I mean. But it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's good, but like it's not.
It's good, but it's going to be a little dumb.
It's not like a groundbreak, like it's not like a Game of Thrones level.
I got you.
So, but yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Maybe before the next season comes out, we'll watch it, because it is so entertaining. She's like a marketing hire in Chicago and is every single day decked out in $4,000 Chanel outfits, and like none of it is realistic.
It's giving Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, it is very based on that, like kind of like thing where money doesn't exist in this life here.
What a nice way to live.
I wish problems would be a lot farther and fewer between.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is giving me I need to go watch some trashy television. Andrew's out for the night, so I do think I'm just going to sit in my couch and binge Love Island.
Whenever I'm really sad, and I would recommend this to anyone, is watch the first season of The Osbournes. It's on YouTube.
Love The Osbournes.
It is so funny.
Oh my God.
And that's what I mean.
That's not even hate watching. That's just good TV.
It is so freaking funny. And I think they stop it at the third season. Like, there should never be anything over 3 seasons
They stopped
of reality
it just
TV.
in time. I remember Kelly Osbourne was dating Burt McCracken from The Used, and I had the biggest crush on him.
Yeah.
And just, you can't understand a thing Ozzy is saying. And everything is just the F word. There's just miniature poodles and like Pomeranians running everywhere. It's insane. I love it.
Literally, it was after the day of my aunt's funeral. I had a guy come bring me In and Out, and he put on the whole season of the Osbournes, and we just giggled so hard all night. And I was like, I should marry that man. Just
so
for
you
that
need
one
to text
be
me
like,
which man this is when we're done, because you need to marry
I'll tell
him.
you. But literally, I was like, I'm sad. Will you bring me In and Out and come watch the Osbournes with me?
Oh my God. When I was sick in college, my ex would come over and watch like the OC with me, which was also trash television. And before he became a monster.
Yeah.
Hey, men are cool until they suck.
Until they aren't.
Yes. Well, I want to know, everybody who's listening, what do you guys like to hate watch? What do you like to hate listen to? Is Nickelback really that bad? Please let us know in the comments.
Yes, they are. They are.
They are. Survey says they are. And I hope that you guys don't hate listen to Pop Culture Junkie podcast and that you all actually like it.
Yeah, or just give us 5 stars, even if you are hate listening.
Yeah, if you're hate listening, be like, I hate these bitches, but it's great.
Yeah.
5 stars. Where can the listeners find you on social media, Olivia?
You can find me, Olivia, on Instagram at Livy Maries, LIVIMARIEZ.
You can find me, Shauna Trinidad, at Shauna Trinidad on Instagram and TikTok. ShaunaTrinidad. Don't forget you can find the Pop Culture Junkie podcast, social media links, and more on our website, popculturejunkie.com. From there, you can find our podcast on all platforms where you can follow, subscribe, rate, review, and all of the above, preferably. You can also check out our incredibly reasonably priced tiers on Patreon. Even at that low, low cost, you will help us bring you the best pop culture every week. Find us at patreon.com/pop. It's like Minnesotan. Pap.
Find us at the Pop Culture Junkie.
Find us at patreon.com/Pop Culture Junkie Podcast, Sign up for our uncensored content, and we promise to love you forever. Please come back next week for another hit of pop culture.
The Pop Culture Junkie podcast is produced by Jeff Markin and Cheryl Lightfoot for the Pop Culture Entertainment Network.